Good afternoon, everyone. We have a lot to cover today. A lot. Let's see. Hi, guys. I'm Lauren. I'm Inspo by Nails. Thanks for popping on with me. I'm sure you guys are all aware because when these first hit Sweetie Nail Supply, like they sold out, like quickly. Because this brand, my&bee, has a huge following in Japan. And there's a reason. Their cat eyes are incredible. There's so many up there. What we wanted to do today was go through maybe some differences in the different cat eye collections. And I also wanted to show you their inks. They're also gorgeous. And right now there are 5 sets of them up on Sweetie Nail Supply. Although some are running a bit low in stock. But this is the second time they hit. So when they did a restock, they added even more things. So there's all kinds of options. And I know we all have our favorites as far as cat eye. You know, some people just love a silky cat eye. Some people love glitter cat eye. Some people love flash. I mean, they have you covered, okay? So we're going to try and go through some differences. I hope I don't jump around too much. But as you can see, I was super busy trying to come up with some examples for you guys between the cat eyes and the inks, how to use them together. So there are tons of options. Some of these you will already see as how-tos up on my page, like this one I put up the other day. I put this one up the other day, so I won't go over that again. We're just going to try and make it through. I hate when it pauses due to bad connection. Everything's closed out. So hopefully we can get through this without pauses for you guys. But do not fear. We will be saving this on Instagram. And also Sweetie Nail Supply has been transferring them to their YouTube. So you have a couple different ways to rewatch. If you're busy, we know midday is kind of hard. But let's go over these. If you were lucky enough to catch Yana last night with D-Box Chilling, she went over a bunch of different cat eye type how-tos, but all the my&bee look like this, okay? So they're these chubby little bottles. They have different colors signifying different collections, etc. I did put swatches on top because it was hard for me to keep the numbers together. You do not have to do that. I just did because I was trying to do this for you guys. But they are all very different. And there's lots of color options in each collection. So let's go through some of them. So for example, this is the Pure Mag. All right. And you see it does have a bit of glitter in it, but it's not a very glittery one, but it's not the same as a silky mag. Like a silky is so tiny that, you know, it's like glass, but you can see these fine little particles, right? So this would be on a regular nail. I see often people saying, what if I don't want to see the free edge, etc. Amsterdam, hello. There's options, okay? But these are going to be beautiful cat eye that you can get a pull very, very quickly. They are known for their cat eye. I mean, you know how there's some brands that people just stand in line for? This would be one of them, okay? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And if you want a pure glass nail, you can do this. You can do this right on top of your nail and you are going to have a clear glass with a cat eye. If you are concerned about seeing a free edge, maybe you have an extension on and you want that glass extension, but you don't want to see your free edge, you can always use a syrup underneath. So let's just do that too. It's not going to affect it that much. And lots of these can be layered. You'll even see a category on their cat eyes called layer mags. So like But you can do whatever floats your boat, guys. I think that's one of the coolest versatilities about these. When you have a powerful cat eye, you can do all kinds of things. So let's just put a little sheer nude on here because, first of all, I'm using these totally clear tips. Our nails don't look like that, right? But let me cure that real quick. Oh, hello, Petite Korea. Oh, wait. Why are you awake? I know the timing over there. It is AM in the wee hours. And we'll put this right on top. So let's go through some of the other, if you have questions too, I will be happy to try and answer them through DMs because I do have like a small selection of the different collections and I can try and describe differences to you. As I played with them, I did notice the differences, so always feel free to reach out to me. I should also put my name on here. Hold on, I'll do that real quick. I am Lauren, Inspo by Nails. And we are going to get into those inks. I'm very impressed with their inks. You are going to be too. And let me pin that. Pin. All right. Things that I don't get through today, I will try and put up as, like I said, tutorials tomorrow or like on my wall. I don't want to keep you too long that you get bored. But yeah, these are very easy to use. The magnetic pull is going to be very strong. You can use whatever magnet floats your boat because it's going to react. Like I said, there was a live last night, and you will be able to listen to the cat eye expert and follow her example. But you see what I mean? So fast, very easy, and you're still going to have, here, I'm going to turn this around because I have my phone set up a little funny today, and I'm trying not to bump you guys. But you want to do both sides. You want to keep that cat eye away from the edge of the nail is really what you want to do. So it shows like that. Oh, look at that flashiness. See, so you're going to see the sheer on the side, and you're still going to have that beautiful flash in the center. And I will also talk to you about which magnets I think which cat eyes I think are best for like nail art, etc. Because you know me, I cannot not embellish a nail. I'm addicted to it. All right, so something like this. Okay, this would be our next up. This is a silky color mag. So when you're talking about silky, you are talking about super fine. So you're basically going to see the pigmentation. You are not going to see glitter in this. So they have silky color and they have silky. Okay, so this is silky, but they're in the nudes. This is a silky gray, like a silver, and this is a silky color mag. So again, you could use this on its own, but what I did, because I really wanted that color to pop, is I layered it over top a sheer dark color. So you see how these match a little bit? I wanted that aqua to really, really pop. So the first color we just used was this collection, the Puro Mag. And it is 002G. Okay, so it is a glitter mag, but it's a fine glitter because we get into some chunkier glitters with My&Bee. All right, so let's do this dark color. And like I said, you can always go back and watch this at a later date with the volume on. I grabbed this by Muse because it was close to me. All right, nice darker glass. I have some of the new Divock glass from summer. We'll be using those too. But you see this, even without a top coat, It is gorgeous. Okay, could totally be embellished. All right. I don't even think I'm going to top coat right this second, you guys, because I want to get through as many as we can. For anyone curious, this is the number of the By Muse. So it's BT005. Okay. And as soon as that cures, we're going to put this one on there. You would have to check the website, but I'm sure that that's up there. But you see this? And you know what, guys? These kind of remind me of old school cat eye, like that you wished it looked like what it looked like on the brush. These do, okay? So you are not going to be disappointed in any of these cat eye. They're crazy beautiful. And then we'll pop on over to the inks too. So talking about the sets of inks, right now there's set A, B, C, D, and E, and they're all a little bit different. One of the things that makes me obsessed with inks is like every single ink brand that I try is a little bit different. So it's kind of like we were joking because it's kind of like a science experiment to me, like which ink works the best way with what. So that is what I tried to do for you guys and give you some tips. Inks are just super versatile. You can totally use them with cat eye and embellish your nails. You totally use them with nuance, totally use them with layering. It is a quick way to get color on the nail. So it looks like I did not do much to this nail, but I just added this cat eye to it. And here is the magic. Look at that green. Look at it. Aqua. I mean, it is beautiful. If I shift this, you can see it also has that purple. So it has an aurora type glow going on here. In different shifts, it's going to look purple blue. In other shifts, it's going to look aqua. It is beautiful. Okay. Most of the time with cat eye, especially silky cat eye, one coat is all that's needed, especially if you're looking for that glass effect. Okay. And that is kind of the purpose of silky, so that you have a surprising, beautiful effect, but that the rest of the nail looks like glass. Glass is very popular right now. I mean, you can see how beautiful this is. It is just, they're just stunning. They really are. It's no wonder when it's so much fun when Sweetie Nail Supply allows us to try these brands that are so popular in other parts of the world. And then we're like, no wonder. Like, it's just like, wow. If you missed the Imena live, I feel the same way about those too. They're amazing. So I am grateful to Sweetie Nail Supply for bringing in such beautiful things for us. Look at that. Here's the color again. All right, I'm just not going to fool with it anymore. I'm going to cure it. Okay, that is Silky Color Mag. This is SC002G. Okay? I think. Yeah. These don't all say that, right? Yeah, no. Okay, so another one that you're going to see up there, and you're going to be like, wait, is that the same thing? It's not. This is Mystic Mag. All right, so this one has a little tiny bit of like glitter in it. So it's not quite the same as the Silky Mag. The Silky Mag is going to be the tiniest particles, the tightest pull, so that you don't see glitter. I know some people like that's what they want. This is another glassy base so that we can really see this. Listen, they look beautiful on their own, but I wanted to, for the video purposes, to put a darker base on it so you guys can see it. They are gorgeous. Gorgeous. And there's all kinds of different colors. So good luck, because there's all kinds of options up on the website. But let me show you the difference between this one, which online, these two might look a little similar because of the Aurora shift, but they are different cat eyes, okay? So the one, oh, I just put my finger in something. The one is, hold on, I've got too much on the table. Mystic. And this one is Silky Color, okay? So here's the Silky Color. And we're going to do Mystic. If you guys were lucky enough to get Divox 4 Seasons, the summer collection has like beautiful bright glass colors. They would look gorgeous under any cat eye. Okay, so glass looks great under silky cat eye. You still achieve that glass look, but it does give a pop of color. So let's use this Mystic. And you will see me put this one on because it has it has glitter. Do you see that? You can see the glitter in there. It's fine. I would say it is closer to the Puru one that we used. It's a fine glitter, but there's glitter. Then we're going to go into some of the POW ones, like POW glitters. All right. Again, immediate. All right, see that? But you see the fine glitter. And when you turn it, once we get our pull and we like it and we cure it, you're still going to have some fine little twinkles going on in there because this is the Mystic Mag. You see the glitter? All right. Gorgeous. But it has a shimmer to it, okay? So it's not big chunky glitter, but it definitely has more than the Silky Color Mag, okay? I feel guilty rushing through these, but seriously, guys, there's so many options on the website. Like, it's a lot to get through. Hopefully this will at least give you a little bit of a difference between the different lines. It's a little overwhelming when there's so many new options. All right, so let's get to the glitters and we will get to some of these other ones later. So 2 of the bigger glitters are these 2, okay? All right, so this first one is the Kira Mag. Okay, different colors, different options available, but you can see that this has a lot of glitter in it, okay? And then this one, first of all, how much do you love the blue and brown bottles? I love it. So this one is the, how do you say it? Suya Flash Mag. This is crazy in one coat. Okay, let's move on. All right, so this is the Kira Mag. And again, both of these could be one coat. Look at it. How pretty is this? I mean, we haven't even pulled a magnet on it. Oh, thank you. Guys, I never know what to put on my nails, honestly. And I really had to change them, so I appreciate it. Some of these inks are on my nails. You guys know I like inks. I'm obsessed with inks. My page has a lot of inks. A lot of hand painting, a lot of inks. All right. So I am going to put one coat on here. I'm going to try and do it evenly, but you know what I mean. When you're playing with cat eye, by the way, you can be a little bit heavier handed than you would be with a opaque like gel polish or something. So you want it to be somewhat even, right? There is so much glitter in here that I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any little bald areas. It's not gritty like a flash gel or anything like that, but up close I can see areas where it's a little thicker and where it's thinner. I might have had a little too much on the nail. Anyway, on the brush, I mean. You ready? So because it has big chunky glitters, I'm going to use a bar. I find that's easier when it's chunky glitters. So I'm going to move this away. You can see how it's clear over here now, a little bit more clear. All right, I'm going to move it on this side. You see it moving? Back on this side. I mean, this is like a diamond nail. This brand is My&Bee, and we're going over different options from My&Bee up on Sweetie Nail Supply. All right, and I'm moving it up away a little bit. Look at that. How beautiful is this? One coat. All right. One cool thing about these glitter ones, they're kind of forgiving, you guys. Like compared to a perfect pull of a silky, like that you need to look all the same, the glitter, I feel like, makes mistakes less visible. So for someone like me, yay. So yeah, that is the Kira Mag. I know the Kira Mags. Okay. This one is 005G. Let me move some of these out of the way because we are going to run out of space today for sure. I haven't even pulled out the inks yet. All right, and let's look at this one too. All right, so the Suya Flash. This if you spied it before I changed my nails, I had one of these on my thumb for a couple days, so you can spy it in a few reels. I was like, wow. It's kind of a holy moly situation without the flash on, which when I play with flash gels, you'll often hear me say, I want them to look super pretty without the flash. Okay, I know they're going to look gorgeous with the flash, but ask me how often I'm out with like flash photography or something. Never. So I want to look at my nails and like them, okay, even without a flash being on. So this fits the bill. It is stinking beautiful. I don't know. I mean, I think that no one would be upset with any of the colors in this collection because they're crazy gorgeous. Okay. You ready? All right. Get stuff out of the way here. Whoa. Seconds. 1 second. I know I am being horrible about reading comments. I'll promise when I put this one in, I will scroll and see if I've missed anything, okay? Let me turn it because I can't. And let me see if I can show you this. I don't even know if you can see it, but it has the finest like rainbow glitter in there too. So the sparkle on this is insane. And remember, this is with 100 bright lights on, okay? Not flash photography. This is so pretty in one coat. You see how it has, and there's another one called 3D Mags. You can see it almost looks 3D. Even with, this is all without a top coat, you guys. You see how glossy and gorgeous these are? They're nuts. Would I embellish something like this? No, because it's got so much going on. It doesn't need it. I mean, not that any cat eye do, but you know, when you're someone like me who's always hand painting and doing little details and little chrome, etc., I like to embellish nails. That's one of my things. But something like this, it has enough going on. It is not pulling away. It's staying exactly where it was. These magnetic gels are amazing. Yeah, they're gorgeous. All right, curing. All right, so just to show you really quickly, and I'll just show you, we'll use some with the inks, but just to show you a few other things. This is also an Uru Mag. I'm going to show you on here. This also has some glitter. Look. Beautiful. They're all beautiful. And can you see when I move this away? Hold on. Can you see the blue glitter in there? All right, so that's You Are You. All right, and that is 006G. Like I said, there's a lot on the website. We're going to use this one for art. We can use this one for art. Okay, so this is Natural Mag. This also has some glitter, you see, but it's kind of a tight pull. You see that baby blue glitter in this one? It's like they're soft colors. Really, really beautiful. Hello. Hello, nail friends. All right, let's see what else we got here. This one is a layer mag, and this one is a layer mag. So just so you know, their layer mags are very popular. There's a couple different sets of them. So these can be used over top of any type of color. You could use them over top of syrup. You could use them over top of glass. You could use them alone. And they are all like just stunning. All right. This one's different than what we used earlier. But you see, lush. All right. Super lush. I'll show you on the board too what I use these for. And it's not pulling on here, but what I'm seeing is how purple, this changes to a very vibrant purple, as well as the blue. Okay, and this one is a glitter layer mag. So, and it has, look at those glitters in there. You see? All right, so it has a white magnetic pull, but it also has all these fun, like candy colored pieces in there. So, and remember, you can also go over this. Oh, and we're going to do that with something else. Hold on. You can go over cat eye with inks. Okay, so let's see. That is that one. Do you see how pretty it is? All right, and this was the light blue one that I just showed you. And this is the aqua one that I just showed you. All right, so let's get into some of these inks. Oh, I just snapped that over there. Sorry, guys. All right, so the inks. The inks are going to come in sets of 7. I do not have them all out. However, they look alike this. All right, so this is the My&Bee ink. All right, this is number 5. This is the first one of set A. Oh yeah, silky mags are the way to go with a floral. Yep. All right, so their white is excellent. There are 2 whites on the site. The first one is 005. The second one is 012, and that comes in set B. This one is more sheer. So 012 is more sheer. 005 is the more pigmented white. Okay. I like both because sometimes I don't want a really heavy white, but yeah. So set A is all milky. So it's colors 5 through 11. And what I mean by milky is you can see that there's white pigmentation at the bottom of these. All of them are very easy to mix, okay? And all of them are very pigmented. But set A is 5 through 11, and they are milky, kind of spring colors, pastels. So turquoise, this little turquoise, and yellow and pink, and like a mustard color, that kind of thing. That is set A, and it has the brightest white. Set B is a mix of milky and sheer. So set B is going to be exactly these colors that I used on this nail. So what I mean by a mix of milky and sheer is, look at this ink. You see no pigmentation at the bottom really at all, maybe some color. And then look at this ink. You see the white down there? So this one I would call milky, and this one. So set B has a mix of those types of inks in it. It has the lighter white and it has some mix. Milky ones, sheer ones, okay? They're all gorgeous. Before you use an ink, you do need to shake it. Just to give you an idea, like that nail that I did with these colors. We're gonna use set B. We have the blue, the green, and we have the sheer blue. I always put color tops on my inks because sometimes looking at a bottle, you just don't know what the finish is going to be. I mean, these two are pretty spot on. But looking at this one, I can tell it's a blue, but what blue? So I always put little dots on top. And then we're going to do set C, which is sheer inks, and make something with that too. But, and guys, I don't want to spill any inks. Look though, this is just a white nail that I wiped the inhibition layer on. Do you see how pigmented this is? Right? That is like a little perfect ink spot. All right, so this is set B. Let's use the green. Do not be afraid to overlap your inks, okay? Because it's going to create different colors. Don't worry about it. Here's the green. You see what I mean? So lighter here, darker here. It mixed with some of the blue. And those are both milky, or what I'd call milky colors. Okay, and that just means that there's pigmentation and there's some white pigmentation in them. They're not milky, they're inks. But that's different than one that looks like this. Okay, and that is going to give you a different look. It's going to be more sheer. You see? It's going to be more sheer, more delicate, that kind of thing. Here, they'll also use the brown. It's got a great brown in it, set B. Okay, this one also is sheer. Now, another thing to look for, what are they using to blend their inks? Okay, most inks have a clear blender, and my&Bee has that too. It is called Ink 000. Okay, this is going to be your clear blender. And this is where you're going to soften up areas of inks. Okay, you see what that just did? You do want a clear, I like a lint-free wipe. Look, clearly I was using this one. All right, so you need a lint-free wipe because you're going to wipe your brush. You don't want to stick it right back in the clear bottle. Trust me, I have some ugly clears because I've been lazy about that. But let's just blend these, let them do their thing by touching this to it. All right. And I'm not flooding the nail with it. I'm just touching it lightly. When it dries, you can remove more. Just, all right. I mean, one of the biggest questions I think I get about inks is, why do my inks look muddy? I think people overthink them. Like, give your inks a second to rest, okay? And then touch it again, or leave it alone. Trust me, they do not need to be perfect to be pretty. Okay, like we could top coat this, ink's dry in a second, and this is going to be a very pretty color wash. Again, there's nothing on this nail. I used a white to cover up the clear nail and then remove the inhibition layer. That's it. I want to show you what happens when you use matte with these because it is a little bit different. Okay. And we are going to give this a coat of clear because it's pretty and it deserves it. Do you agree? How many of you are obsessed with inks like me? Inks are always going to look better with a shiny top coat. Always, always. It gives it that depth and dimension. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can tell because there's so much going on here, but even that brown has variations of color just by hitting it with that clear. All right. But yeah, very simple. All right, so this one. No, it is not. The Favori Clear Blender is actually excellent and possibly will work, but they are all a little different. That's the craziest thing about inks. Like, don't get me wrong, I love them all, but they are all a little bit different. If you can get the clear blender for that brand, you should be ensured that it works with that brand. If you have the Favori, use it up till it looks like mine. What? and then then maybe try a different clear. But not all of them do work. So don't get surprised, if it doesn't, just use something else. All right, so for this nail, all I did was matte top coat a nail, and I used Set C. Set C is all sheer. Okay, there's no milky pigmentation. You'll even see it on the website. It says Set C sheer, and this is why I have tops on them, because they are surprising. And when you have matte on a nail and you use inks, it's going to suck in the ink. The only time I'd say don't experiment with matte and inks is if you have a metallic ink. It'll suck all the color out, okay, and it's not going to look metallic anymore. So do not do that with metallic inks. But with color, look how soft that is. All right, so Set C is 19 through 25. You guys, I could seriously sit here and play with inks. Clearly I did all weekend long. But I could do it all day. Because it's so interesting how you can get different looks. And see, they're all falling over. Thank goodness. Definitely close your inks as soon as you use them. Do not leave them open on your table. I promise you, you will be upset if you do. You will not. It's like dropping a glass of water. It will fly everywhere and be gone in seconds. Do you see how soft this is? All right. Oh. These shears are very, 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 very soft. Okay. If we wanted them to stand out even more, we could have used like a bright white. Remember, that is going to pop some color into inks if you're having a hard time seeing them. But I wanted a really soft look. Here's the yellow. I'm going over top. And we can go over top this again. Remember, they dry so quickly, all right, that you can keep doing what you're doing, right? Let me use this. This is also, no, this is it. Okay. 19 through 25, Set C. Blue, yeah. All right. This one, okay? You'd be like, oh, Lauren, that's dark. Don't use it. No, because it's sheer. Watch. Look. It's gentle. See? So pretty. Crazy. That's what I love about them. They can totally surprise you. Who would have thought that I used looking like the darkest set of inks for this look? Right? So there's a reason some are milky pigmented and some are super sheer like this. And because we're using matte, it sucks in the color and allows for you to do things like stripes, plaids, that kind of thing. So lots of times when you see someone doing plaids with ink, they have a matte base, okay? And you can use any of your mattes for that. Wipe the inhibition layer and then just go to town, okay? Yes, this is really, really pretty. And I want to show you something else. If you want to darken up any colors, go ahead and do it, all right? But something else you might want to check out by these guys, by May&Bee. I'm very impressed with these, okay? So this is their No Wipe Meta Gold and No Wipe Meta Silver. So these are No Wipe, somewhat structured gel paints, okay? They're softer than if you said, how do they compare to Favori Metallic Nuance? They don't, okay? Those are very sticky, thick, nuanced gels. These are not. These are more like fine liners, but have a little bit of viscosity to them, to chrome, okay? But this looks like a great gold, doesn't it? So all I did was use my Sweeties Liner 1. Let me get some of this. See what I mean? Looks great. And no, guys, no one makes a liquid gold like they do silver. Trust me. It has not happened yet. I don't know if it ever will, because I'm sure there's companies that have tried, but watch. I mean, and this is really pretty. That is pretty for gold. It is. But it's still not the same as gold mirror, right? You know, like if you want it to be perfect gold chrome. But here's the thing. Chrome doesn't stick to inks, okay? So we have inked this nail up. So we are just doing tiny details here. And I'm just making a wobbly line. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. We don't want it to be. But see, it does have some dimension, right? It is sticking up a little bit. Okay, they're very, very good. I'm impressed with both. But yes, am I going to chrome it? Yes. Okay, and you could press this flat. I tried to get some texture out of it, and you can get a little bit. But I think you can do better with some nuanced gels for the texture. So I would use these as fine liners. Let's cure it. And you know what? I was too slow. I did not get their, like, I think they have one called like a caramel. They definitely have some nuanced gels. I just was a little too slow. And people are probably joining like, what are you doing? It's pretty boring. This is what we're doing. Oh, and let's do that too. Hold on, while we're at it, let me get that little minty color. All right. This is a beautiful color for spring. This is a pure. Apparently, I cannot pronounce it. I couldn't pronounce it earlier either, okay? But here it is. Clear now while that's curing. Let's get this on here. And I'll show you how easy it is to do a plaid with inks, or a simple plaid, okay? And they look pretty with cat eye, right? So, oh shoot, I forgot I snapped this onto something. Hold on a minute, guys. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Actually, Yana showed you guys some really cute plaids. last night. And we're not getting fancy like that. We're just doing something really easy with ink. Look at the pink. The pink shine on this one with the green is like too perfect for spring. Really is. This really probably has enough glitter. You could use any type of magnet you want. You can have the pole, like have it a couple different places. I'm going to send it off over here because that's where I want to do my white ink line. I think. I like a cheat with plaids, and inks are one way to go. Okay? I'll take these out. Oh gosh, we're loaded up in here, you guys. Woof. All right, cure. All right, now I promise that we're gonna chrome this. Right now, guys, clear chromes were just restocked not that long ago. You know we love our my&Bee and Blanc Blanc, but stop pausing. IG, look, when you chrome this, it turns into the perfect metal, okay? So do not worry. It is a really good gel for that. You've heard me talk about other ones before, and I love those too. Wait, where's my sponge to wipe this off? Hold on, guys. Here it is. All right, this is pretty, got a lot of stuff on there, but see, comes right off. All right, so now we have a little fine gold detail, and then just use a nice top or clear, then top, whatever you want to do. Look how sweet that one came out. All right, so I really suggest, if you want to get into inks, you do need to put them all out on the table. Take some plain nails, okay, white, pink, whatever. Play around with different finishes on the nail, whether you want to do matte, whether you want to do shiny, wipe the inhibition layer, and just play. Okay, the amount of hours and years that I've put into ink play is crazy. But that's when you get really comfortable with them, and you can tell by playing with them what an ink is going to do. Okay? Just super, super simple to use, and once you get comfortable with them, man, I'll tell you what, super easy to get some art on the nails very, very, very quickly. If anyone needed this green color, it is, what's it say? 003G PM Puru Mag 003G. Okay, that's the minty green with the pink and white cat eye. All right, so that is cured. I am just going to wipe the inhibition layer with isopropyl alcohol. And remember, when you're playing with inks for like lines, like we just did across, or lines up and down, do not stress and do not worry about it being perfect. There's something cool about an inky line that's not perfect, so just go with it, okay? And you can kind of clean it up if you want to after it's on there. If you want it to suck into it, what do we need to use? Matte. I'm not going to worry about that right this second, and I'm just going to do a line down the side. Okay. All right, so let's just say we want it here. We are just going to drag a line down the side. Okay? You see it? It's a white line. All right. When I'm taking it out of I'm running out of room, guys. Let me make sure these are clear. When I'm taking it out of the bottle, okay, this is the first ink, it's 005. Okay, it's the more pigmented white. I am wiping most of this ink off. Okay, I don't want to flood the nail. I didn't put on matte. It's not sucking into this nail. So we are just going to do one across the side. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. But when you turn it, you're going to see what we did. Okay? Make sure it's continued to the end. All right. These are very forgiving in that you can go over them more than once. Some inks are not that way. Like I said, I love all inks, but yes, ink plaid is really an easy design. I believe Sweetie Nail Supply just put up an ink plaid yesterday that I did. And it's a really fast way to change the look of your cat eye. All right. Now, to firm this up more, I would use a liner gel and do like some more meticulous stripes. So let's use the silver just so I can show ya. The silver too. So this is very different. Again, the Favori metal object. This is different. This is thicker. You can tell it's like a whipped gel. So you can use this as a liner gel. You can use this to chrome, etc. All right. Man, I have a hard time doing this when I'm not looking at the nail directly. So let's just hope it goes well. Whatever, if it doesn't. Look, I ran out of gel. That's okay. I'm going to turn it. And I still didn't look at questions. So if I skipped your question, please ask it again now. When I put this in to cure, I will finally stop doing something and look at what you're asking. How about that? I'm sorry. But I think everyone who follows me knows I'm also very convo friendly. I'm happy to help you. So if I miss something, just ask. All right. Turning it over because I can't see. All right. But so now we have that cat eye, we have ink, and we have this silver. And it's super sweet from any angle. I think that's what's kind of cool about it. So it's a minimal embellishing your cat eye, but I'm down for embellishing all these cat eye lately. They're just so pretty. All right, let's do something else. Like I said, this tutorial's up. This tutorial's up on my page, okay? This is some gel. This is some inks on a mat. These are some inks simply wiped over a different kind of texture gel. All right, we just did something like that. Oh, let me show you them over a cat eye. Full cat eye, right? So you want to wipe off the inhibition layer. Okay. We want to wipe that off. And let's go to town with some inks. All right. You can use the shears. This is how a shear over top is going to look. You don't even really have to shake these. There's no pigmentation on the bottom. But yeah, you can change the color very easily. All right. Let's change some more over here. Are you using the nail tip? Hold your nail. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand. And I lied. I said I was going to go back. But do you see what I mean now? You guys we have a multicolored just by layering some of these inks over top. Has changed the look. Yep. These sheer inks are going to be perfect for that, okay? Because they're just not aggressive, right? But go ahead and layer them however you like. Because it's not matte, it's not gripping every single stroke, so this is going to look a lot more even than if I had used a matte top coat over top. As you saw when we did the matte top coat, that gives it a more definitive line, which is perfect for plaid, and I really should have taken the time to do that for plaid, but you guys get the point, okay? But for this, all we had to do was wipe the inhibition layer and change the color of this gel. I mean, yeah. And embellish however you like. I can't believe we've been on here for an hour already. What? But we have. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to cure this and let you guys ask questions. I'll let you guys ask questions and then I will answer, and then I'm going to save this. All right, I'm going to save it to my page. I'm going to save it to Sweetie Nail Supplies page. That way, if you have any questions, I'll see it. If you post them on the saved live. Okay. I saw Jenny say something and I totally missed it. So let me see. All right, Jenny, had a bunch of my&Bee in my cart last night and finished my purchase after your explanation of all the mag gels. Oh, good, good. And you got, oh, I think that might have been the last ink set bead, Jenny. Pulu. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. You need to message me and let me know how to pronounce all of these. Thank you so much. Is the clear blender generally? Okay, got that one. What surface for metallic? It needs to be a wiped inhibition for metallic. Let me show you that real quick. Okay. Yes. You just don't want matte for metallics. So their metallics are pretty subtle, honestly. Did I cure this? I think I did. I'm just going to put this on here. I'll show you the difference. Let me grab one of these other samples that I made. All right. And all right, let's see if we can find something nice and subtle. Well, this is not subtle, but let me show you something with the silver metallic. I'm going to wipe it because I did not top coat it. By the way, these do not work well over a top coated nail, so you don't want top coat. You want a wiped inhibition or you want matte, okay? But here is the silver metallic. And then I'll show you a matte nail real quick. Oh, actually, here, look, let's do it like this. All right, you ready? Here is some silver. All right. You guys can see that, right? Be like a wiped inhibition nail. Okay. Ink 000. This is their blender ink. Push it, and it's going to soften it in certain areas. The metallics are a little bit harder to move than the other inks, okay? If you're like, I can't get it to do anything, try alcohol first, okay? If that doesn't get it to move, try acetone. Seriously, okay? Acetone's going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to left it on there too long, and there. All right. If we matte top coat this nail, let's do that. First of all, matte is going to make any metallic look dull, right? which is, you know, if you want it to look that way, that's fine. But you're best off with a wiped inhibition layer for a metallic. And their metallics look strongest on like a lighter base, you know, like a white. Okay, let me cure this and I'll show you what happens to the ink if you put it that way. All right. And for any of the major looks that I put up on this board, if I didn't get to them, oh, I did want to show you like this one. See, like this? So this is a silky mag, really, and just some swipes of ink on the side. Here, I'll take it off because there's too much going on. Just from swipes of ink on the side of this, changes the look a little bit. Nothing over here, just on the side. And then that gold that I just showed you on the stripey nail. All right? In person, this one looks even prettier. Very subtle, but do not be afraid to use your inks on your nails, okay? Do not be afraid to chunk it up with some texture, all right? And put inks on texture, all right? Do not be afraid to do that, all right? It is very easy to embellish your texture with inks. It's one of the easiest ways. It's one of the is with inks and texture gels. Am I going to mix these with all kinds of texture gels that I have? Absolutely. Okay, so I will do some of those as far as reels and put them up. Okay, so if you follow me at Inspo by Nails, I will put them up that way because we are definitely running out of time. All right, so there is the silver matte, and it's definitely a look. It's pretty. But if you want something to look like metal, you're not going to want to put it on matte or to use matte. Okay, let's use the gold. The pink nail stand, this one. I just used the sample that we had made with Pulu. All right, this is 2G, but I put inks over top of it. Okay, so that's not the color of it. This is the color of it. All right, and then I put 2 inks on top of it. All right. It's going to suck some color in and some color is sitting on top. So you see what happens? So now that looks silver and you can see the gold coloring a little bit. This is why you don't do it over matte, unless that's the look you want. But these inks, the metallics, are definitely a silver base in My&Bee, okay? So you gotta shake them up, but let me see a colored one. Here's the green. No. Yeah. Hold on. This is the green metallic. You see? You're going to see the silver on a matte. Silver. There's green ink on top. Okay, if we tap this out, and when it dries, it's going to look mostly silver with some green ink on top. So keep the metallics on a wiped inhibition layer, okay? Definitely. Still really pretty. But I think you're going to get the most out of these metallics if you keep it on a wiped inhibition layer. Okay, you just got, what mag gel is that? Okay, I showed you, yep. And I just got the Zombie Builder Gel. Do I need to put anything on before? You need a base coat before you use the Zombie Builder Gel. Okay, if that's what you're talking about. It's a great overlay gel for texture, nuance, like we could have used it on something like that. Just got on. Can we see the ingredients for the base coat and top coat if you have them, please? I do not have the base coat and top coat of My&Bee, but you can message Sweetie Nail Supply. They have all of that information for you. There are just so many products. It's crazy. Oh, the Blanc Albacol Caramel Tip Gel. Yes, I do use that. Yeah. Not all, I mean, here's the thing. I sometimes get lazy and I don't use it because I have a bunch that already have the white on it, but most of them do. Yeah. I love it. And remember, guys, I go through like between 100 and 200 of tips a month. So that Albacol gets a good workout with me. Oh my gosh, you guys. Crazy desk. I got to top coat some of these. I'm going to save this for you. You know I'm here for questions. You know Sweetie Nail Supply is there for your questions, okay? So you guys have any, then just ask. Oh, you're waiting for them to reply. Yeah, it's kind of busy. And but I'll let them know that you asked in here, but they definitely have that information for you. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming and watching. I really, really, really appreciate it, you guys. Not that I couldn't talk to myself for an hour. I probably could, but I appreciate you guys and your support. So I hope you have a great rest of the day. It's almost Friday. And maybe we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.